due diligence. Diligence means carefulness. Due means pending. Imagine some people are buying some company. Ford organization is being stopped in India or not? Have you heard this? Car organization, they stopped manufacturing in India. In Chennai there was a plant. Ford manufacturing plant was there. After a final point of time, they want to take off that plant. That means the government has to use for some other purpose, no? That same plant. Before giving it to government, they have to submit this environmental due diligence. That means an organization is manufacturing something and then they are producing and then they are selling. When they want to leave this company, they cannot leave immediately and they cannot go. They have to submit closure of a company. During closure of company, government will check due. When you are asking for a hall ticket, what they will check in department? No due certificate. They will check no due. What are the things will be there? Any fees, any exam fees are pending, everything they will check. The same way, environmental due diligence is environmental due for a company. If some people are buying, imagine some company might be bankrupted. They will be getting more money from the bank, then they will not settle back the amount. The bank will be frequently asking that when you are going to pay the amount. The company will not at all respond. What the bank will do is they take charge of the company. They take back the company. When they are taking back, the bank will not immediately take. They will check the due, environmental due. Either this organization is polluting the environment, they will check. So these are the things where environmental due diligence audit will come. This is an audit generally. Before any bank is taking the company or one organization is being taken by another organization. For that also environmental due diligence audit will be there. Environmental due diligence is an assessment and management of environmental liability. Liability means they have bought something, now they are liable. So this is called liability and risk. So they have to give the environmental due diligence. So this is accomplished through several ways, and the complaints before taking over a company, there is a checklist. Everything is okay, then you can transfer to the other organization. So there is a environmental regulations to safeguard against the environmental accident. Now, environmental due diligence audit is both legal and technical exercise. This is not only legal exercise, technical exercise also they will do. If a certain company is manufacturing, they will check the amount of pollution they release. A steel manufacturing plant, for what are the purpose you use steel? Construction purpose you use bars. Then manufacturing buses, lorries. How many components in lorries are steel? For steel, what is required? Iron. For burning, what they will use? For cooking, you use LPG gas. For those kind of iron melting for 800 degrees centigrade, they use coal. When burning the coal, what happens? CO2 gets emitted. All steel manufacturing plant burn the coal, so they pollute air to a significant manner. They have to do technical exercise. So environmental due diligence depends on size of organization. If your organization size is less, then the audit will be in lesser time. And current and historical site activities which they will be taking in this due diligence. What are the things they will consider is legal complaints, then physical sampling and laboratory analysis. They will take some sample of their product, then they will check. So this kind of things they will do, sampling and laboratory analysis they will do. Phase 1 and phase 2 of environmental site assessment. That means before buying that property, they will visit that property. They go there and check the assessment of the site, how much they contaminate. What are the contaminants? Soil and groundwater investigation. They take some sample of water. Imagine the steel company will be using coal. They burn coal. After burning, what they get? They get ash. So that ash they will take and dump in a place. Dump in soil. What happens? That soil will get contaminated, no? That same ash will get penetrated into the soil. Then it will go to the groundwater. If they consume that groundwater, they will be affected. Before getting the company, they will take some groundwater sample. That means today the site will be very fine, but before 10 years they would have contaminated. Who knows? So they will check the groundwater, they will check the soil, then only they will take back. Today they will clean all the places and then they will sell. Tomorrow the groundwater contamination is a liability for you. Yes or no? Tomorrow you have to answer that. Someday someone will wake up and then they will say that you have contaminated. But the actual thing was you would have taken over for only 2 years. The earlier person might be 30 years. He would have contaminated the groundwater and he would have went. So this environmental audit will help you to check the soil and groundwater, is it safe or not. So they will be giving that audit report. Sometimes more measure necessary to ensure that all environmental issues are captured. Now, what are the things, major things in due diligence they will take is, can you see this measure? You have a meter. Before taking over an organization, if it is in green meter, that means you can take that organization easily. There is no environmental consequence. What are the things you will get from due diligence is risk. Pollution, contamination and waste management in that industry. Then you will check sustainability. How many sustainable goals are there? Sustainable Development Goals, SDG. That parameter is very much useful for a country, how much it is developed or not. So this is a parameter, it is evaluated for sustainable initiatives and compliance. Either when you are buying that organization is under the law and regulation of the state. This is not only due diligence is there for environment. For how many types of due diligence are there? They are business due diligence, then financial due diligence, legal due diligence. Kingfisher I told no, that Kingfisher does not have environmental due diligence. They are bankrupted. That means they borrowed money, they did not pay it back. That is the example of what due diligence? Financial due diligence. They are yet to pay back. There are legal due diligence. That means some organization must have crossed the government limit. Then they will be not getting the license, so they are selling the company. That is called legal law diligence. In business due diligence, you have environmental. So we are only dealing with some part. So the other due diligence are also there, which I want to highlight you today. This is an audit which has been imposed for purchasers, sellers, lenders, bank, etc., which I have already discussed with you, for getting the property during a transaction. This environmental due diligence will help you in baseline for decision making. Either you can buy that company or not. You can do a decision by getting this audit. So risk will be assessed during this. There are phase 1 and phase 2 assessment. Now this is the process of due diligence. First you have to identify the risk and opportunity, evaluate ESG, conduct stakeholders engagement, and last one is integrate into investment decision. Final thing is, after checking all these 3 parameters, you will make a decision. Now where due diligence are added value? Financially, if it is healthy, you will be getting profit from that organization. If environmental due diligence are not financially strong, then do not buy the property. Second thing is legal. You will check that, identify any legal problems are there. After buying, you might end up in legal problem. Ensuring license are up to date. You are buying a company, their license got over before 10 years. So you should not buy that organization. You will be knowing that either they have license problem or not. Third thing is operational failures will be there. Bottleneck process. Any manufacturing, there is a component called bottleneck process. In a traffic, you have a road. Where is the bottleneck of the road is traffic signal. There is a key point where the vehicle goes or stops. That is called bottleneck. In manufacturing process also, certain process taking so much long of a time, lengthy process will be there. That is called operational bottleneck. Before buying that, you have to check that either that company has a bottleneck problem or not. If all the processes are streamlined, then you can buy it. There is some problem in operational issue, in the sense you have to use another equipment and then you have to process your construction. So this will give you operational things which is happening. And HR, human resource, either employees problem are there in the organization which you will be letting know. And finally, tax is either all the tax are paid up to date, which will be knowing in this due diligence. Now, this is for your better understanding. Can you see there is a due diligence report on environmental and social safeguard? Organization is wanting to buy the company. This is one of the examples. This happened in Bangladesh in 2014. This is a brick manufacturing organization. Can you see? One manufacturer wants to sell his brick manufacturing company to other. So he wants a report. A new buyer wants a report of environmental due diligence so that he can buy. So what are the things he have done for buying this? So this is an example for you, real time example. So what is the name of the company? Arabi Auto Brick Limited. So this is a company name. And what is the project investment? 21.2 crore. This is not thousand or lakh. We are speaking in crores. Before making this kind of investment, this kind of report is essential. This is the operation phase. Before buying that plant, they have to check. I have told you pollution, air pollution. How air pollutions are checked? Ambient air quality meter will be there. That meter has to be installed in the organization. That is required as per Pollution Control Board. Before buying that, you have to check that do they have that ambient air quality meter, like that you have to check. So this is ambient air quality. Stack emission. Can you remember this? Have I highlighted earlier? Smoke stack scrubbers. How will you manufacture brick? You need clay. You will place that clay in a furnace. You will burn the clay. Then only it will convert into brick. There is a stack emission scrubber will be there in order to reduce the gases. What are they? SO2, NO2, CO2, etc. So they will be taking a sample of this stack scrubber. Either this company is producing any SOx or NOx, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen or carbon, etc. Then drinking water, noise, everything they are checking. Next thing, what are the items in that organization they have for operation phase? Does they have firefighting equipment? In our college, can you see a firefighting equipment display? All floors, they have to check. When buying that, they have to check firefighting equipments are available. What is the cost of that? 1,50,000. Then cost of occupational health safety equipment, etc. These kind of things they will check, and what are the prices. Then finally they recommend this. After doing that audit, environmental due diligence audit, they write these recommendations. This company is strict compliance with using Brick Burning Act provision with procurement of soil and earth. Then the construction of closed coal grinding and developing well planned water system, everything they have. So they finally write that based on the site visit due diligence findings, it can be concluded that sub-project has no significant environmental safeguard issues. So they check all the things and they certify that this project doesn't have any environmental safeguard issues. Therefore, do not appear in any reputational risk to ABD funding to environmental safeguard the funding. Finally, they say this recommendation. So this is what the checklist. When the auditor goes to a site, they have to check cultural heritage site. You are providing an industry near Taj Mahal, brick manufacturing industry near Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is a cultural heritage site, no? If you are providing any manufacturing place there, what will happen? That air will pollute the Taj Mahal's appearance. they are checking. Either cultural heritage site around there. If it is no, they will tick this. If yes, then there will be due diligence. They will not purchase that. Next one, residential, protected commercial educational institution. Nearby your industry, there is a school. Then you should not purchase because you will be having a law issue. Nearby school or college, there should not be any industry. So this is what the law. Wetland, like that. They will be checking this. Hills, municipality, provisions are there. Potential environmental impact. Any impact already happened. Dust pollutions are there. Can you see yes is being ticked? What is the problem there? Dust pollution impact from transportation of soil earth as raw material and brick plant. They have to transfer clay, no? For brick, what they require? Clay. Clay they require. When they are transferring, there will be dust. That is why they ticked this. Minimal as transported shall be made over lorries and vans under cover. So they are covering that and then they are bringing. That is why there is no problem. So they say that there is a problem, but there is minimal problem. That is okay. Like that they highlight noise vibrations are there. Screening. Thus they have sanitation work. They have social conflicts with others, with any workers. There might be worker problem there. Two workers might be fighting there. There will be a case on the company. Then they will buy this company. The same worker will have a case on this new owner also. Like that they will check social conflicts if workers from other regions and countries are hired. Is there any problem like that? So they will check on vulnerabilities, etc. You can read this when you have time. And national level compliances. What are national level compliances? Does they have Clean Air Act, Green Initiative? These are some initiative. Does they comply with this? They are going to check. Finally, like this, they have to give the instruction. Environmental categorization form. The project team based on sub-project due diligence complies that to submit the form to the head green bank. So like that they will be giving this of category, whatever category, category A, B, C. What category it comes under? Category B. Now he will be giving an endorsement that this technical project team comments in consideration in land requirement, etc. For location of project, investment is likely to risk involved in soil clay when demand clay will be further increased. What he says? The brick manufacturing plant need clay. Can you consume clay infinitely in your ground? No, there is a particular level. If you are going too much far and mining, the government will say no, you should not too much consume the resources. So this is what they highlight. Today there is no problem, but after few years, if you are keep on taking the clay, there will be some issues. Demand of clay will be further increased. Concern about the occupational safety due to dust pollution, noise. Project is categorized under B. Hence they categorize under B, and it has been endorsed by general manager and it has been taken. Environmental due diligence. Generally it is a check in order to purchase for any other interested parties. They might be banks, they might be another owners or companies or proprietor, etc.